Welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's VW MOOC 25 and our distinguished speaker who's coming to us from India, and that's Dr. Ramesh Sharma. So let me tell you a little bit about our amazing presenter who has been presenting a number of times at VW MOOC 25 and at other live meetings. He's from India. He's had over 30 years of experience in open and distance education and expertise in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, usability design, and virtual reality for learning. He has held leadership and visiting academic roles in India, Guyana, Taiwan, Brazil, Fiji, Malaysia, and Canada, advancing global digital education. He has mentored 5 MOOCs under Open Educational Resource OE4BW project, supporting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and developed MOOCs for India's SWAYAM and RPIT on VR, open educational resources, and mobile learning. His work explores ethical use of emerging technologies in education. He has authored and edited books on blockchain, generative AI, online pedagogy, and distance learning. He is recognized with 2 research awards, also collaborated with UNESCO on thematic reviews and global educational initiatives. And he has done much more that I don't think he added to his bio because he's modest and it would have taken too much room. But I think you can write an autobiography of all the accomplishments and wonderful things that you have done throughout the years. And I'm very honored to be part of a little bit of this. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. And thank you, Dr. Ramesh Sharma, for this.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Nelly, for this opportunity. It's always pleasure. And in fact, just last week, my another presentation, we have launched, you remember I told that one of my Udemy course on neuroscience beyond medicine. After that, we launched another one that is Introduction to Prompt Engineering for AI. And already there are more than 450 students within a span of, it's a free course, around half an hour course.
Wow, that's an amazing accomplishment.
We are getting a good response for that. And
That's
now
great.
We are planning to have another version of that, which is focused on educators, means only in education. So, okay, back to our today's presentation. As you see the title, the Ghost in the Machine, Generative AI, the soft power and the new nukes in education. So, okay, yeah. This presentation is based on our editorial, which we published in our journal, Asian Journal of Distance Education. So, let me start with something that's hard to ignore. We are no longer just observers of AI. Most of us in higher education, AI is not the future, it is our daily reality. So we are using it to draft lectures, brainstorm assessment questions, or even spark ideas for our next research paper. And here it's something to really sit with. As you see the image on the right, the Stanford AI Index report. This came this year, and there was another one which came last year for 2023. This is for 2024. In that, there were 3 aspects, but here I think this time it is around 9 aspects. This is one of the most trusted global reports on AI progress. And it confirms that the AI now has surpassed human performance in multiple domains, as you can see it on the screen: image classification, visual reasoning, medium level reading comprehension, English language understanding. And in some areas, it has outstripped the human benchmarks that seemed untouchable just a few years ago. So think about that for a moment, that tasks that once defined human expertise are now routinely handled, means if not dominated, by machine intelligence. Around the world, universities are jumping in. There are so many examples. For example, this see on the left, in Germany, IU International University's AI-powered tutor, the name is Sinti, your personal AI tutor, helping students complete courses 27% faster. But not everyone sees only the bright side. At MIT, researchers discovered that the students relying heavily on AI for essay writing showed decline in originality and retention. Very recently, there is a image circulating on internet about the brain brain of two people, those who use AI, those don't use AI, and the decline in their mental powers, cognitive powers, like that, suggesting that we may be paying a hidden price for the convenience of using it. But that contrast brings us to the heart of today's talk: the ghost in the machine, generative AI, soft power, and the new nukes in education. It sounds provocative, and it is meant to be. The ghost is the unseen influence embedded in these systems, the cultural assumptions, priorities, patterns of thinking coded into them. Imagine this: a student in Nairobi, a scholar in New Delhi, and a researcher in Toronto ask the same AI question and receive almost the same response, structured in Western-centric style. And that's efficiency, but it also erodes the educational diversity and critical nuance. So here we will try to unpack how generative AI is reshaping higher education globally, its promises and perils of that. So first, let's see the paradigm shifts from niche tool to ubiquitous classroom presence. Only till few years ago, till like the November 2020, 22, the tools like ChatGPT, Bard, or Gemini, they were experimental technologies used by a small number of tech enthusiasts. They were like rare gadgets. People had heard of them, but not many had used them seriously for learning. Now things have changed very quickly. In fact, now it is 9th. So as per our time zone, 2 days ago, and many millions of people, there was the live release of GPT-5. And yesterday I tried it to create a game for students on the most famous scientists of all the science disciplines. It's a wonderful, I was able to. The app was created within, say, like 10 minutes by the software GPT-5. But then I wanted it to put on some website. So I chose GitHub, but then positioning it in the GitHub, integrating the images, etc. It took a lot of time. But ultimately, and I posted that whole story on my LinkedIn. So those of you who are connected with me on LinkedIn, you will very well read the how I did it. I have explained the full process so that if someone else wants to repeat the same thing, it will be easy for them. So in universities across, like in United States, the students use AI daily for writing assessments. In fact, Google is giving 1 year free account. In India, Perplexity has announced that those who are using Airtel communicate means the mobile connectivity, the premium account is given to them for 1 year. So summarizing articles, generating study notes. Similarly, like in South Korea, AI-powered tutoring apps are part of mainstream education. Even in rural parts of Kenya, teachers are starting to use AI via low-cost smartphones to prepare lesson plans. So this shift from a rare tool to an everyday tool happened in less than 3 years. And this speed is important because education systems usually take decades to adopt new technology. The internet took about 15 years to become normal in the classroom, and AI has done it under 5. So this fast adoption means teachers, students, policymakers are learning as they go, which creates both excitement and confusion. In fact, I saw a very interesting, next time I will update my presentation. It is just occurring to me. On social media, I found a very funny, it is a small bite-sized video, a GIF, you can say. There is this big boat. Half of the rowers, they are on this side, left and right, and both are rowing it in opposite direction to each other. So the boat is still there. On one side, those people who favor AI, those people who are confused or against AI. So not going. It is like a new player joining the game halfway through and changing all the rules. So this has done. Now, the ghost in the machine metaphor means there is something unseen but very powerful operating inside the technology. In education, this ghost is the invisible influence of AI on what and how students learn. These systems are not just neutral tools. They are created by us, mostly in countries like US or UK or China or Korea, which means they carry the cultural values, assumptions, priorities of these societies. For example, if a student in Brazil asks an AI to explain history, the examples might focus more on Western events that on as compared to focusing on Latin America. That is the ghost, unseen, but shaping learning. The metaphor helps us remember that AI is not magic. It has a personality shaped by its makers. Just as a textbook reflects the author's viewpoint, AI reflects the worldwide view built into its algorithms. And this is why educators must be aware of what is behind the answers the AI gives, and why this is more than EdTech trend currently. Many education technologies have come and gone. I remember that Google came up with these Google glasses. They remained there and then vanished. Nowadays, they are working on Google Glass Part 2, version 2 on that. So smart boards, massive open online courses, educational television, AI is different because it is not just a delivery method. It can create content, adapt to the learner, interact like a human tutor. It doesn't just bring students information. It shapes how they think. For example, like in China, AI grading systems are already making millions of students marking the assignments, influencing how students write to match and AI preferences. In India, I was just reading the newspaper that most of the job interviews are nowadays being conducted by the AI systems. In UK, universities are redesigning their assessment so they can't be completely completed entirely by the AI. So this is bigger than a gadget or a platform. It is a fundamental shift in the role of teachers, the skills the students need, the way knowledge is created. So means calling it just another EdTech tool is like calling the printing press as another writing tool. It's a technology that will leave, and it is already leaving, a deep mark on education worldwide. Let us see the promises and the perils of the AI tutor. One of the biggest promises of generative AI in education is personalized learning. In traditional classroom, one teacher may have 40 students, all learning at different speeds. It is hard for the teacher to give every student exactly what they need. AI changes that. It can adjust the pace, style, difficulty of lessons for each student. For example, if a student in India struggles with fractions, AI can provide extra practice problems and videos until the student masters the concept. If another student in Canada is ahead in science, the AI can give more advanced material instead of waiting for rest of the class. This personalized approach could make learning more equitable. So like in countries like Kenya, where teacher shortage are common, AI tutor can provide extra support for students in rural areas. In Finland, the developed side, AI-based language apps help immigrant students learn Finnish faster by adapting. I remember that Duolingo is very popular there. So the hope is that AI can reduce the gaps between high-performing and struggling students, making education fairer for everyone. But it is not just about catching up. It's also about engagement. AI can use interactive games. I have created 3 games so far using it. One is for chemistry, the flame test. If you have a burner burning and if you put sodium, potassium, magnesium, sulfur or something, the color of the flame changes. So making it so there is no physical harm to the person, but they can see actual what it happens. I have added it to on that, and then the refraction index using convex and concave lens, etc. So these things. So AI, it has helped me in creating those simulations and the real-time feedback. The students, they keep motivated. So let's imagine geography lesson where AI takes us to a virtual tour of the Amazon rainforest or the pyramids of Egypt and answering our questions instantly. So, but this promise depends on equal access of technology. Without affordable devices and internet, many students, especially in low-income regions, chances are they may be left behind. And that's why personalization, while it is very powerful, may go hand in hand with policies that ensure all the students can benefit. Uh, while AI can provide personalized learning, there is hidden danger, that is intellectual homogenization, uh, where everyone ends up thinking in the same way because they use the same AI tools. Most AI models are trained on similar data, so they might give similar examples, solutions, and explanations. So if a student in Nigeria, Japan, or Argentina all use the same AI tutor, they might receive nearly identical content, and this can reduce the diversity of thought, which is essential in fields like science, literature, social studies. Another risk is skill atrophy, losing important skills because we don't use them enough. For example, if we rely on AI to write essays, we might lose the ability to structure arguments, check grammar, find sources on our own. And the researchers are calling it as cognitive debt. The mental skills we lose when machines do too much for us. So the problem isn't AI itself, it is over-reliance. Just like using a calculator for every simple sum weakens our basic mathematics skills. Depending on AI for all schoolwork can weaken our core skills of critical thinking, problem solving, resilience, etc. Then the changing role of us educators. In the past, we were the main source of knowledge in the classroom, like as the sage on the stage. Students listened to us, took note, learned from us our expertise. But with AI, this is changing. They are getting instant answers from tutors anytime. They shift it has shifted the role to a facilitator or guide on the site. For example, like in Singapore, the teachers now focus more on project-based learning, where students research topics with AI assistants, but the teacher ensures the work is accurate and original. So in some universities, students are encouraged to use AI for brainstorming, but require them to explain their choices and show their own thinking. Uh, we have a good friend, I think Dr. Nelly also knows him, Steve Wheeler from US. He told once a very interesting thing is that he knew that students are using AI, so can't stop, nobody can stop them now. So what he did that he asked all the students that for your assignment, write the first draft in the class itself here and submit it. Okay, and then now you go home, you do whatever you want to do, use whatever tool you do. But next time when you bring it, I can compare and can see the the level of improvement that yesterday your English was not good, but today you are comparing with Shakespeare and other things. So that situation. Okay, so let us see the soft power of Gen AI. The term soft power was introduced by political scientist Joseph Nye. is the person there. Which means influencing others, not through force or money, but through attraction, by making our ideas, values, or culture appealing. In education, soft power works when one country's educational materials, teaching methods, cultural values spread and shape how others think. Now, AI has become a powerful soft power tool. Most Gen AI systems like Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, they are developed in countries like US or means UK or uh, Singapore or China, Korea. This means the language, for example, the problem solving approaches they use are often shaped by, in this case, we can say that like Western culture. So when an AI gives leadership examples, it may mention figures like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk more often than the leaders from Asia, Latin America, or say like Africa. And this influence is subtle. Students and teachers may not even notice it. But over time, if these tools are used widely in schools worldwide, they can standardize educational content and ways of thinking. So a history student in South Africa, a law student in India, and a business student in Brazil might all get very similar answers from the AI, even if their culture and local context are different. And that's why the soft power in AI matters. It can help spread useful knowledge quickly, but it can also push a certain worldview, sometimes at the expense of local perspective. Then we have cultural coding and the hidden curriculum, which mean that the way an AI system works, its algorithms, data sources, training methods reflect the culture and assumptions of its creators. So even if the tool looks neutral, the hidden curriculum inside it can shape what students learn. For example, if AI is trained mostly on English language sources from North America and Europe, it may show bias towards Western norms and topics like politics, gender roles, or education styles. In literature class in Malaysia, an AI might suggest mostly British or the American authors, ignoring rich Southeast Asian literature. So this hidden curriculum is not always intentional, but it's real. And it matters because education is not just about facts. It's about perspective. So it presents one dominant perspective. Students might miss out the alternative views that could spark their deep thinking. And some countries are addressing this issue. For example, China is developing its own AI systems that prioritize Chinese language and culture. Similarly, UAE has launched AI tools that include Arabic cultural content. One of my good friend in Malaysia, Mr. Dr. Jad Ali Al-Sagaf, he has created a AI tool and he is calling it as Habib AI. So he is using to spread the teaching of Islam for that. So this is the cultural aspect a tool is being used. The goal is not to reject the global AI tools, but to ensure that the local culture is part of the digital learning experience. We talk of educational standardization, means making learning materials, teaching methods, assessments the same everywhere. While some of the standardization is good, like using a shared scientific method, but too much of it can erase the local diversity. When these tools are designed in one region, dominate the means there worldwide, they can unintentionally push certain teaching styles or values. If AI math tool encourage quick multiple choice answers, countries that traditionally value step-by-step problem solving might see those skills fading away. Or if AI writing tools follow Western essay structures, so students from cultures that value storytelling or oral tradition may lose those form of expressions. This is not just cultural, it can affect the learning outcomes as well. Take the case of indigenous communities, like in Canada, they use land-based education. So teaching science through direct interaction with the nature. If AI tools don't include such context, students may see their own heritage as less valuable than what the AI promotes. So to avoid this, we need to combine AI generated materials with local knowledge and examples. Like say in New Zealand, some schools use AI alongside Maori culture content so that students learn global skills without losing local identity. Now, let us come to the new nukes analogy and the dual use dilemma of that. Now, the phrase AI as the new nukes sounds dramatic. We deliberately kept that. At first, it might seem wrong to compare a computer program with nuclear weapons. After all, AI does not explode or destroy cities, but the metaphor is not about physical destruction. It's about the scale of impact that needs for serious governance. When nuclear weapons were invented, the world suddenly had a technology with incredible power that could either protect peace through deterrence or cause massive harm. Similarly, AI is a technology with dual potential. It can be used to improve education, healthcare, problem solving, or it can spread misinformation. It is rampant nowadays. So much of the deep fake videos, deep fake audios. I think there was a case of Hong Kong firm where the finance officer received a call. I'm your vice VP, thinking that I'm asking to transfer the money because a project to be signed. The money was transferred. Later on, it was found that that call was not made by VP. So those kind of things, they are happening. And this metaphor works because it forces us to think urgently about the controls. Nuclear technology led to some of the international agreements, safety protocols, inspections, and similarly, AI might need some sort of global framework to make sure. In fact, popularly known as the godfather of AI, Professor Jeffrey Hinton, received the Nobel Prize this time. Also regularly cautioning about and particularly the stage of, as we say that the AI is of three types. We call it as narrow intelligence, which is like Alexa, Siri, Cortana, the type. Then general intelligence. Some believe that we are now currently these our tools, LLMs, they represent that stage. Some say that it is yet to come. But the third stage, artificial super intelligence, people are very much afraid, and much of the concerns are being raised that we don't know. Means they are developing, they may develop their own language. And there are some, I think it was OpenAI case that when they wanted to shut down a program, the program refused to shut down, like, or it copied it outside servers. And when it was asked, it will flatly denied. So, AI systems are becoming liar as well. They can speak lie. So interesting things are happening with AI. The AI is flooding the internet with false information, making it hard for us to tell truth from lies, or it is replacing certain jobs faster than societies are adapting, leading to unemployment and social unrest. Every day we are seeing the news in the newspaper. Oh, Microsoft layoff, Amazon layoff, Facebook layoff, this, that. So just like the nuclear power, the stakes are very high. So governance must be proactive, not the reactive for that. So when nuclear weapons appeared in 1940s, governments quickly realized they need global agreement to avoid disaster. And this led to things like Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, and creation of watchdog agencies like IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency. The key focus was here, don't wait until something goes wrong to create rules. For AI, similar approach could mean setting international safety and ethical standards. UNESCO is OECD, those things, the work is going on before technology becomes too advanced to control it. UNESCO have already released AI ethics recommendations that over 190 countries have agreed to follow. The European Union is also finalizing the AI Act, which sets rules for transparency, fairness, and accountability of AI use. So one parallel here is the inspection and transparency model. In nuclear governance, particularly Saddam Hussein, Iraq, WMD, although none was found, but things were were, taking a different shape. Similarly, here for nuclear gun, the inspectors, they check facilities to ensure compliance. For AI, this could mean regular audits of AI systems to see how they are being trained, what data they are using, and whether they meet fairness and safety standards. And there another lesson is the public education. Uh, After the Cold War began, many countries introduced public campaigns to teach citizens about nuclear safety. For AI, this could mean like integrating critical AI literacy into school curricula. I remember I read it somewhere that in China, they have started the teaching of AI from the primary school. In India also, we have this CBSE, Central Board for Secondary Education. They have introduced the AI curriculum from class 8th to 12th standard. So to promote the AI literacy into the school curricula, so that students learn to question AI outputs instead of accepting them blindly. One of the biggest fears with generative AI is its ability to produce large amount of synthetic content in the form of text, image, audio, video created by algorithms that can look and sound real. In fact, I remember the famous Hollywood actor Scarlett Johansson. She had objected to OpenAI, but OpenAI people, they refused that we have not used your voice sample. But one of the the artifact, it was appearing, means very similar to her own voice. So while this can be useful for education, it also can be used for misinformation. For example, during the last year's European Parliament elections, the AI generated deepfake videos of political candidates. They were circulated online, confusing voters. So imagine a similar situation in education. Students could be shown a realistic but fake historical video that changes how they understand the history. It is happening in some places about changing the history pattern. So if such content spreads widely, it could damage what experts call as our shared truth, the basic agreement on facts that societies need to function. And AI can also be weaponized in information warfare. And it is happening right now. You see Russia, Ukraine, much of the, in fact, just not long back, but India and Pakistan, we were also at war with each other. So information warfare, fake research papers, they are, in fact, from this fake research paper, I remember now two interesting incidents very recently. Um, some of the people, when they wrote their paper using AI, the AI tool put some hidden code into the article, which would instruct the plagiarism detection tool not to give negative comments. That was caught. It came into the news. So, like there is a art, it is called as steganography, where we can hide a message in an image. So I will send you a photograph of something. You will say, "Oh, wonderful photograph." And as soon as you see, open that, the malicious software, the malware can get installed on your machine. That is the steganography. So something happened in some genre. You can make a Google search on that. That came, I think, last month about it. And there is another interesting thing what happened that, but that was hacking. It was not related to AI as such. Some of the people, they hacked a journal system, planted their own papers, got them reviewed, got good reviewed, got them published, and editor, the actual real editors, they were not aware that, oh, something is happening. When people like Fatiha and me, when they read those papers, they called the author, "What are you publishing nowadays?" So they know what is the wrong with it. So look at the paper. And then they found that they said that we never received these papers. So those things. So point here is that fake research papers, fabricated statistics, misleading news stories, it could be mass produced and hard to detect. So in education, this could make research work more difficult and weaken the trust in legitimate sources. So this erosion of shared truth is dangerous because education depends on reliable foundation of knowledge. If the students can't tell what is real, they can't build critical thinking skills. And that's why this metaphor of new nukes is important. It reminds us that AI is not just a helpful tool, it's a technology that can disrupt society at the very fundamental level, if not managed carefully. So then we come to the talk of ethics and equity. When we talk about ethics, most people think about the bias. For example, an AI tool gives unfair results for certain group of people. In fact, I remember you can make a Google search. I think I will include that image next time in my presentation. If you make a Google search that Mother Teresa fighting poverty, it's a very famous image. So Mother Teresa fighting poverty. And one of the, you will find some image in which Mother Teresa is there in the Bruce Lee style and fighting with African kids. So the biasness. Why, when we say poor, think of African kids only? The poor people are everywhere. In America, people are poor. In India, people are poor. So certain, but it, and when the bias, this bias is a big problem, ethics in AI goes much deeper. It's about moral architecture, values, priorities, goals built into AI systems by their creators. So think of AI as a house. The walls and the rooms, they are algorithms, but the design of the house, what is included, what is excluded, how people move inside, it's shaped by the builder's choice. So in AI, the builder is the team of developers and companies who decide what data to use and what the AI should prioritize and what safety checks to include. Say, if you see an AI tutoring system is designed mainly to improve test scores. So it might focus heavily on memorization and speed, ignoring creativity and problem solving. If it is designed with cultural sensitivity in mind, it might include examples and case studies from multiple regions and traditions. So good moral architecture in education-focused AI would mean including diverse culture content, protecting student privacy, and designing for the skill growth, not just to get performance gains, those. So how then can we tackle the AI literacy, which means having skills to understand, question, and use AI tools responsibly? Just like we teach students how to read critically or use the internet safely, we need to teach them how to interact with AI. And that's where comes the prompt engineering and other things. So this is true from primary school all the way up to the university level. Like I remember in Finland, AI literacy is treated as a basic skill, like reading or mathematics. Primary school students learn what AI is, how it works, why it sometimes make mistakes. And by the time they reach higher education sector, they are able to use tools in research while checking for accuracy and biasness. So what skills can be in the AI literacy include? Like asking AI clear and specific questions, which is as the part of prompt engineering, checking answers against trusted sources, like Perplexity is much better than ChatGPT in that way, because ChatGPT has hallucinates. It still has hallucinates, although it has improved much. But Google Gemini and Perplexity, when they refer something, we can hover our mouse pointer and can see that actual resource is there. So trusted sources it shows. Then understanding that means as it can make up the information or things, and recognizing biasness or one-sided perspective uh, in fact, this is very surprising. I had to give a presentation on blockchain in some university 2-3 months ago. And I wanted to include when I was presenting on blockchain, I wanted to include some information on cryptocurrency. So I thought that would it not be wonderful that if I have a quotation or some idea about the 47th president of US, Mr. Donald Trump, because he is promoting cryptocurrencies. So I think I used Grok or some platform. And when I asked the question, it refused. It said that political response is something. It didn't give me the information. So that was quite funny. And similarly, I had read that those initially those people, when DeepSeek came, they were saying that, oh, it has replaced every other platform, much more powerful than every other thing. So if you ask any question which goes against China, it won't reply to you. So without AI literacy, students can become over-dependent, accepting AI output as the final truth. So some schools have already therefore introduced short AI training courses so that the students learn to use it as a helper. One of my teacher, he says that because I told him that, sir, you can use it in this way. And if you can explain your writing style, then it can work like your teaching assistant. So now he is very happily using it as ChatGPT as his research assistant. So the goal is to make it as a partner in learning, something that supports our thinking, not something which it replaces for us. So as AI can widen the education gap, is access is unequal. This is called as digital divide. So those schools who are wealthy, students may use advanced tools, fast internet, modern devices, while in poorer areas, students may have none of these. Over time, it can and definitely it will create AI advantage gap. It is already there. And particularly like when Google people, they said that, okay, we are giving 1 year free to US students. So we were waiting that, okay, it is our own brother, Mr. Sundar Pichai. So when the things will come to India. So where only privileged students learn AI skills and benefit from the personalized learning. So like in some parts of rural India and sub-Saharan Africa, internet connectivity is limited. Even if AI tools are free, they can't use them without reliable devices or electricity. Meanwhile, students in countries like Singapore or South Korea, they're already learning coding, data analysis as AI interaction as a part of their daily routine. So there is a language divide as well. Although means they work in AI, although they can translate any language, it is okay. In fact, I did one very interesting experiment last month. I'm visiting professor in a university in Brazil, in Bahia. Bahia, I think it is the second largest state after São Paulo. So there is this state university of Bahia. We are working on some role-playing games on that. So I can't speak Portuguese except saying muito obrigado or bom dia, like that, simple words. And their English is little shaky. So an idea came to me and I asked ChatGPT that its voice mode by activating it, that look, I'm having a meeting with my friends in Brazil. So please listen to our conversation. I can't speak Portuguese. They can't speak English. So when I speak something in English, you translate it in real time by speaking it in Portuguese. And when they speak, you say it to me in English. And it worked very well. Although I used when I was teaching in Malaysia and at some other places, I had used Skype at that time, and Skype could translate it, but its translation was not that good. Nowadays, means I don't remember. I know I don't hear so much that people are still using Skype that way. So this language divide. If students study in indigenous or minority language, the AI may not understand their input or give relevant examples. So to solve these issues, the governments or the NGOs, they have started to provide offline or low data AI tools. For example, in Latin America, there is this program called as one laptop per child. So integrating lightweight AI apps that work without constant internet connections. So let us see about educational sovereignty and how we can recenter the humanity in everything in here. So educational sovereignty means keeping control over the goals and values of education, even when using powerful technologies. So one key rule here is augment, don't automate. Means AI should be used to help human learning, not to replace it. For example, imagine a writing class, say in Australia. If the students use AI to automatically write essays for them, they are automating the process and losing the chance to practice critical thinking and creativity. But if they use AI to brainstorm ideas, check grammar, suggest different ways to express an argument, they are augmenting their own thinking. And this principle matters because automation can lead to skill loss. We have seen this with calculators. And I know some of my own colleagues, I have seen them when they go to the market, even if it is simple thing, they will take out their mobile phone and do the calculation. And I can say, I can do much faster by thinking about it. So that way, the mental mathematics, the practice, we are not doing basic mental mathematics anymore because we are relying on devices. For example, in education, lesson planning, grading, even feedback, if they are fully automated, we as teacher might lose our professional touch and students might stop learning how to solve problem independently. In fact, this is quite interesting. I don't know whether it was from Europe or from America. A case came, I think 2 months ago, something. So there is this teacher and she prepared her PPT using Gamma app or something and went to the class. So one student objected to it and demanded the university return my fee. I have not taken admission into the system where the teachers are teaching me by making presentation using AI and that. So that was quite interesting. In Japan, some schools are experimenting with AI as a co-teacher. In fact, there is one case of Kerala in India as well, where we have Iris as a teacher. It's a mannequin basically, but AI system has been fit into that, so students can talk to them. So interact with it, and the results are quite encouraging from there. So here the main question we should ask is, does this AI tool make my students and me smarter or just more passive? There are some priorities for human-centric AI integration, like augmentation or automation. We just discussed this. Then AI literacy over policy enforcement. Instead of making rules about AI use, we should teach the people how to use it wisely. And then design over technology, focusing on rethinking assignments as I gave you the example of Professor Steve Wheeler, that you write your first draft here in the classroom, and then you can use whatever tool you want so that we know that how you started and how you are progressing. And vision over short-term decisions. So keep the long-term educational goals in mind, even when making quick technology choices. Like I remember in Denmark, the schools are redesigning the examinations to use AI tools. So instead of banning them, in fact, this is very interesting. On one side, the AI is taking over, but in India, in West Bengal, the government, they banned this news came from Australia also. The banning the use of mobile phone by the students. So how things are, where the student means, so if we can consider these things, then the AI adoption is not just a reaction to technology trends, but it can be a deliberate choice aligned with the values we want the education system to focus for us. Then traditional tests, they check that how students, but if AI can do those things instantly, then assessment needs to change. So AI enabled assessment should push students to think creatively and critically. Like in history classes, instead of asking the students to write an essay on World War II, we might say use AI to gather different perspectives on the causes of World War II and then compare them and identify any missing viewpoint. So here, AI is part of the process, but the human work like analysis and evaluation is still required. Some universities are experimenting with AI collaboration logs. The students submit not only their work, but also a record of how they have used AI. In fact, many research journals, they are also asking the authors to means declare that if they have used, oh, my video got closed. I don't know why. That if they have used any AI, how they have used it. So that declaration. So these kind of assessments, they prepare students for the real world, where they will likely use AI, but must be able to challenge or improve the outputs. So let us say about the governance and the policy pathways. Why it is needed? Because AI is not limited by borders. So a student in one country can use the same tool as the student in another country. And this is exciting, but it also means problem can spread globally if the technology is not well managed. For example, if an AI system teaches incorrect science concepts, students in many countries will learn the same wrong information. That's why international AI standards are required. So standard means like rules about safety, accuracy, fairness, privacy. And we means if we can clearly explain the AI system, where this information is coming from, how to the student data is being protected from being sold or misused, and how it is means it can work in multiple languages or cultural context. This idea is something similar to food safety rules. Just we have international standards for food quality to protect public health. We need some sort of rules, international sets for AI in education to protect the learning quality. And here, I remember UNESCO has already created recommendations on the ethics of AI. So while this is a good start, some detailed education specific guidance is needed. So two major international organizations are leading work in OECD and UNESCO. So UNESCO's focus is on ethical principles. It promotes that AI support human rights, cultural diversity, sustainability. OECD works more on data, skills, policy alignments. It studies how AI affects jobs, skills, education systems, and advises governments on how to prepare students for the as a future for workforce. So, and one of the projects of OECD is AI and the future of skills, which is helping some countries to redesign their curricula so that students can develop and match the incoming wave of AI being taken. And there are some regional collaborations as well. For example, in EU, the new AI Act, it includes special rules for high risk uses in education. In ASEAN countries like Southeast Asia, ministries are discussing a shared AI framework. These are important because AI is too big for a single country to regulate alone. Shared rules and agreements, they mean progress can be much faster and more consistent with that. There is this called as digital neocolonialism. It happens when technology from powerful countries dominate other nations, shape their cultures, shape their economies, impact their education without much local control. And with AI, it can happen if the countries use only foreign-made systems that reflect the outside values. So some countries are pushing back by creating their own AI policies and tools. Like in India, we have this national AI strategy with a section on education. So it encourages developing AI systems in Indian languages. And in fact, one of my good friend, he has taken this task of developing 1 million mathematics teachers. And he has created using a software. I can share the name of that tool. He can easily translate it into all the Indian languages, the script, the video created, and then that can translate. So the AI is helping in that mission to him. I remember in Brazil, the government is funding AI projects which focus on local environmental and social issues. So the key is here is educational sovereignty, making sure that the AI helps in meeting the local learning goals. Then what about then the stakeholders' responsibilities and collaboration models? So here we need to play a critical role in deciding how and when AI should be used in classroom. And that's why nowadays we call them as the guardians of the gate. Responsibility is not to block AI entirely or to allow it without limits, but to make sure that it is used in ways that help in learning. So like in Finland, teachers are trained to guide students in using AI to brainstorm ideas for essays. In Singapore, teachers use AI grading tools for MCQ tests, but personally review open-ended questions. So being a guardian of the gate also means knowing when not to use AI. If the assignment main goal is to develop independent research skills, giving students full access to AI might defeat the purpose. So here the challenge is to balance innovation with tradition. And then the students as co-creators, they are no longer just the consumers of information. Means that using AI, they can expand their ideas and not to shortcut the process. So some universities, they require their student to submit both the final assessment, assignment and the prompt they have used with AI, explaining how the suggestions they have shaped their work. And some students in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, they use AI to simulate experiments before doing them in the lab. Like I have done some experiments already for physics, chemistry, biology. So they can still perform the experiments themselves, but here the tool can help them in predicting possible results. So then students as co-creators, developers as ethical architects of the AI tools. So the people who design AI systems, they need to have the choice that how these systems they behave and their behavior affects the education. So some companies are taking steps toward ethical design. For example, this very popular app Duolingo, the language learning platform. It uses AI for personalized learnings, but works with local language experts to ensure cultural relevance. Similarly, we have this Google Socratic app for students, explains concepts in multiple ways. So ethical AI architecture means including diverse training data, allowing human oversight and review, prioritizing student privacy and safety. So then I will go with the policy makers like European Union AI Act. Here, the AI systems in education are classified as high risk and must meet the strict requirement for safety, fairness, and accountability. So what are various risk scenarios? One of them is the means not to create fear, but to identify risk. They become before they become a reality. And one possible misuse is AI-powered cheating. So students might use AI to write essays, solve math problem, even pass online examination without doing the work themselves. So misinformation, over-reliance, these are the possible misuses. So we need to have some sort of scenario planning to prepare for different possible futures. So best case, like how all students can improve learning. Middle case, some areas but create new issues. And worst case, widespread cheating, misinformation, inequality, and like that. So we have some learnings from the past misinformation crisis. For example, the COVID pandemic. It showed how fast false information can spread online and it can influence public behavior. Because initially, when the vaccine came, many people they were hesitant in getting the vaccination done because they were saying that it can harm them. So that way. Okay, so what are the future pathways? I'm concluding it. So here, human agency means the ability to make our own choices and take control of our learning. So in AI-driven education system, this can weaken if we begin to rely too much on machine decision. So to keep the human agency strong, it should act as an assistant and not as a decision maker. Okay, so thank you so much. And now I'm stopping my screen share. Over to you, Nelly.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Everyone is very impressed. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah, where do you stand? That's what I ask myself, Dr. Sharma. And I'm asking everyone here, I'm asking you as well, where do you stand, without saying maybe this, maybe that, where do you stand, when it comes to all of this? Because we've seen both sides of the coin. We know that it's misused. We know that it might not be as misused as it will be in the future because not enough students are aware of what they can do. And I have had experience with AI research tools, and they're competing. They're competing in such a way that now with these AI tools, research that I recommended to my students, they can write their
Yes.
papers, they can check, they have AI detectors, they have writing tools, they can get everything for you. So, and you can't really detect it, maybe with Turnitin, but even Turnitin. So what is the point of writing? If we can't do it. So what is your stand? Are you for this? Are you not for this? What answer would you give today?
Yeah, I will say that I'm in favor of it. Use it because ultimately it is with any other technology that how we are using it. So it is better that use it, but use it in a proper way, positive way. Ultimately, because it is a good our helping assistant. Really, it is making our things quite easy. For example, it is speeding up our learning. It is providing a local sport. Like there is a, and these nowadays many TV stations, they have that weather forecast by the AI anchor. In India, the agriculture channel, they have introduced two AI anchors, Krish and Bhumi, one male, one female, and they can speak in 50 languages which
Why not?
we cannot. So see the power of these tools. So I say that we should not be fearing it. We should not be afraid of it. Yeah, just now the comment was there. Ethical awareness. That is very much important to know that means staying within the boundaries and using it with them.
But what about writing? That's my focus, academic writing, academic publishing. Scholars, well-known scholars, are being tempted, and they are actually using it. They're using it for their presentation. They're using it. I mean, they're not even thinking anymore. They're just copying and pasting because you can. So if you can, why would you not use it? It's an ethical question, it's a moral question, but we know that when we are pressured for time,
Actually, uh, I can show one email by my student, but the name will be reflected. But let me tell you what happened. She is doing her dissertation work. So she wanted some guidance from me, and I sent my feedback to her. Then a thank you email came to me, and I made me laugh. She didn't even bother to delete the upper portion and the lower portion of ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yeah.
Yeah, where it says at the end that do you want me to something, and on the upper here is this. So copy paste from there to there. Right? It made
Well,
me
you
laugh.
need critical thinking to know how to cheat. I mean, how to copy
Yes.
and paste. You
Yeah.
have to be aware of these things. So, they'll become aware of it. They'll become better and better. They'll remove what makes it, 100% AI. It's so easy to do with these humanizing tools. There are humanizers that do this for you, and it can't be detected, which is fine. It's fine if that's what we want. And the question is, how can we replace writing with something else? Can we replace writing? Don't we want writing to be something that we do? That's my question.
So to use artificial intelligence, the human intelligence is essential. Otherwise, they won't be able to. They will get caught immediately.
No, they won't. There are
Soft
ways to get
skills.
around it. Trust me. There are lots of tools out there, humanizing tools, not humanizing us, humanizing the writing.
Yeah.
But they're
This
called humanizers. You
synthetic
can
data.
check on the internet and find, or just check with ChatGPT, or there's now Manus. I don't know if you're familiar with Manus. Are you familiar with Manus?
Yeah,
Manus.
Mhm. Some of my men's colleagues, they have told that how they are tackling this situation is that the students can do anything, means let them do, but then call them and have a personal viva, personal
That's
interview.
it. Yes, exactly.
They-
That's perfect. Okay, that's the only solution. But if it's fully
Yes,
online,
yeah.
if it's fully online, the way I teach, fully online, then it's problematic because
Le-
I teach in Greece. I'm not going to go to Greece to sit with my students, right? Unless they pay me for it.
So when we
Um,
let when we let them speak, then we can find.
Yeah. Yeah. We can also interview them. I think that's a great idea. We can also interview them online. So they'll have questions and they won't be able to use a teleprompter to speak because that's what they use, teleprompters. Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think, but that idea may fail after 5 years because Elon Musk, his Neuralink company, is when they will start selling those chips to be implanted in the brain. So we will
Yeah,
get
that.
those things.
So we
Anyway,
can detect if they have an AI installed in their brain and then not accept them to the university. I don't know. It's just two,
yeah.
two different things. Yeah, but
And
I wanted to say that Skype is gone. I don't know if you're aware of that, but Skype no longer exists. So if you haven't
yes,
been using it for a while, you can forget about it because it's not there anymore. Microsoft killed it.
yeah. No,
So
I
a
used
lot
it,
of
I
things,
think, up till 2018 when I was in Malaysia. There I was using it. But
yeah.
after that, even my account also I is not there. So
So in
even these tools they have taken
2024,
over. Yes.
they rested it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Skype was great for a lot of people for years, so it was unfortunate. There's nothing like it, by the way. Not
Yeah.
really like it. So yeah, it's too bad about Skype. I just found out the other day that Adobe Aero, augmented reality, is also going to rest. So, there should be a repository, maybe an open educational resource of all the educational tools, Dr. Sharma, that are, being rested. We
Mhm.
should know beforehand, instead of just looking for them. So that's important. All right, so we've gone over our time, but it's been wonderful. And you can read the comments. You can also copy and paste. This was our first session of the day. We have another one coming up in about 3 hours, and you're welcome to join. So
Oh,
thank you.
It will be past,
You'll
past
be fast
midnight.
asleep. Okay. No, but everybody else can join us. So thank you, and thank you once again for this wonderful presentation, and looking forward to more. So thank you. Thank you,
Yes.
everyone, for joining us.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.